Hello peeps, how's it going? I'm Cover Creeper and welcome back to Prospector. This is the beta version of Prospector. This is a new demo. This is part of the new demo. The developer is currently working on a new demo. I already said that. This is the beta version of Prospector. The developer has announced that he's working on a new demo. You still have time to play the first contract if you want to before September 12th, so I recommend you guys give that a try. I'm going to be playing the beta because in the beta, there's a new structure called a transformer, and this transformer uses supply lines, which means that routers are no longer used. I'm not going to be seeing them in the version of this version of the game. So I want to give my feedback on this because I really like this game, and it's the first time I really get to be active in a community where a game is, you know, growing and developing, and it feels pretty cool to be a part of that. I'm going to start a new game because it's what the developer recommended. If I were to load an existing save, there might be some things that happen that are a little weird. Some things may not work at all. I might encounter additional bugs, and I'm gonna skip this because I've already read the story. Tojo Core, blah blah blah, prospectors, lucrative, blah blah blah. I get sent down here to this lovely planet, and I try to build an Amazon warehouse of my own so that I can retire and live a happy life elsewhere. Same thing, same routine, blah blah blah. I harvest trees, I mine up some mineral. I go about my lovely day. I'm gonna craft some of these for myself. So you guys will see the new stuff very soon, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip to that so that you guys aren't bored. The developer did recommend playing at least 10 minutes before giving some feedback. I'm gonna do the honors of playing this for 15 minutes. One, because I did say that I wanted to keep my content shorter. I was going to shorten my content into 15 to 20 minute videos. Because that last FNAF Into the Pit video was just atrociously long. I don't know why I made it that long. Okay, so one thing I noticed that's new is that there's a bolt meter up here that shows +2. So that's how many bolts of power I have. I also noticed this hotbar is not 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's still 1 through 9. It's not bad, but again, like having a numbered hotbar system is great. I think I mentioned that on the Discord. I'm not trying developer, I'm not trying to bug you about that. It's just a feature I like having because I've come from games like Factorio and Satisfactory where you can just press a number and boop, you have what you need. Okay, there's some Carrot Cove right over there. I'm not gonna be getting that deep into the game. It's like I'm going to be playing for probably 15 minutes, and by then I'm probably not even gonna get past rank 2. How much is a transformer? It's 40 and 40. Provides power to local structures, powered with supply lines, and creates a working matrix for bots. Great! Let's place one. Oh my. Okay, so we have a square area around the transformer, and what you guys saw, those even smaller squares, when I placed the transformer, these are wind nodes. Apparently you get bonus power when you place a wind turbine on top of a wind node. So instead of getting 1, you'd get 1 plus however many wind nodes are in the 3x3 square area of the wind turbine. Oh, there's a lot of those things down there. I don't like those things. I'm just going to say that right now. Kamikaze. Explosive lobsters. That's what I'm going to call them. Explosive lobsters. I don't know the actual name for them in the game, so I'm calling them explosive lobsters. I built a muffle furnace. Okay, now at this point, it just seems like we're progressing throughout the game normally. Oh, does the square have to be in the area? Okay. Wait, why can't this go here? What? Why can't this go here? What's in the way? What? Really, just the top of that wind turbine that makes it not possible for me to place that there? Really? It's a 3x3 area, so why is that a thing? I would understand if this is impeding in the 3x3 area of the wind turbine below it, but like this? Why is this an issue? I'll put it right there so it doesn't take up so much space. You would think the hitbox was 3x3, but no, it's 3x3 plus that half. I got a lot of power from just the one down there. I need an exporter eventually, but that's not gonna be a necessity until I make the ingots. Now I can build an exporter. What do you mean, no? Oh, more mineral. Okay. Just want to get a feel for the new mechanic first, which seems to be a bit more restrictive since well, but before I deem it restrictive, you don't have to utilize the wind nodes. I wish there was a power view like in Minicology. Before, I thought the whole transformer thing was okay because, yes, you don't have to use the wind nodes. They just add a bonus to your power. And if you choose not to use them, then you can still place your wind turbines however you want, which means you can still make your factory look nice and neat or however you want it to look. But the thing about this square area of space not just for the transformer, but for the wind turbine, it's pretty restrictive. You can only place 8 around a transformer, which I'm not sure how to feel. Here, let me just give an example. You know, that's what this video is about. If I wanted bonus power, I could place this here, place that there, and, you know, place this here. But you don't have to use it. These just give you a bonus. So, you know, it's ancillary at best, but it's not... Okay, no, you never mind. You can't even place 8. So I thought it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But no, I just remembered that you can't even do this. Why? I don't know. It's a wind turbine. What is preventing... This is the top... This thing right here. This is the top of the turbine. What's preventing this? What is preventing another wind turbine from being placed right next to this one? It's not lying on the ground. I don't like that because that limits that even more so limits how many you can put in this 8x8 square area. I'm guessing you could probably put like 6. I can understand why this is a system. It's a means of forcing utility. Even though you don't have to use them, you should, because otherwise you're not gonna have a lot of power for your facilities. Why can't I do this? What is the problem with this? What's the problem with this? This was over here before and it was fine, no issues. There's some sort of placement priority that's happening, and I don't know why it is, but I'm not sure if I like it. Wait, can I do this? Okay, you can do that. There's some sort of placement priority. I think maybe there's some sort of layering being used. Because I could do that. Okay, so you can put 8 in here, and you can still kind of organize your structures however, like, in a certain way that would satisfy you, but still, it's iffy. I'm just gonna keep playing through it for right now, but I'm, like, at the end of this video, I'm gonna gather my thoughts. I understand that this system forces you to organize your factory in an efficient way. It's unique. This grid system justifies the need for wind nodes, because without wind nodes, you're only gonna get so much power because you can only fit so many wind turbines in an area, max 8, so, which means you're probably gonna get max 16 bolts. So yeah, this forces utility. It could just be me nitpicking about, you know, freedom of placement in games, because even as much as, you know, the intricacies of Factorio demand efficiency and pragmatism in how you place your conveyor belts, because in Factorio it's like main buses are a must. You have to like the best of players always have a main bus in that game. And while those games influence freedom with placing structures how you want to, and kind of, you know, playing how you want, there's kind of a limit to that in this game because you can only do so much. Like before, you can place as many of these as you wanted to. Now it kind of limits that, and it could be a limiter in regards to how many wind turbines you place to prevent exploiting the power system and just having infinite power. Even though I'm sure, you know, your power would scale greatly as you progress through the game. But again, there is the freedom of placement is really dampened. It's not severely detrimental, but for, you know, players who like sandbox automation games, and I'm not sure what kind of audience you're trying to bring to this game, but you know, the freedom of placement, freedom in any game, like survival crafting, the fun in that comes from, you know, freedom to build whatever you want. That's why Minecraft's so enjoyable. Minecraft and Terraria. And what makes Satisfactory enjoyable, at least for me, is being able to plan things, being able to play your way. And so I can, you know, in Satisfactory and Factorio, I can place things how I want to. If I want to play like how the pros play, I can. If I want to, you know, just play to have fun, I can play to have fun and place things how I want to place them just to have fun. Or if I want to be efficient, which is how I play things, and yeah, I will place things in a manner that is efficient. And so that's why I'm not hugely bothered by this, because it's like, oh, I have to play smart, and I like mechanics that encourage me to play smart. Just that I also like a bit of freedom in regards to placing structures, and I can only do so much with the grid system I'm given. I hope that makes some sense. I'll try to compile my thoughts better at the end of this video. And I might sound like a broken record, and I do apologize, but I do want to reinforce, I am coming from games like Satisfactory and Factorio, and this game is gonna be different from that. So if I, you know, mention something over and over, I apologize. It's just because I'm used to that mechanic in Satisfactory. I've played a good amount of Satisfactory. I haven't played enough Factorio, but I've played a good bit of it. And so some things that I am used to, like, you know, a numbered hotbar, Q and E to be able to switch to and from items in my inventory, like this is still G. I highly recommend making this Q, because Q and E make sense. G and E I mean, I'm not gonna say if G and E makes sense. Just look at your keyboard and make an estimate from there. For some people, it might make sense, but for me, I'm like, no, Q and E. I use Q and E to switch to and from things all the time, and and not just in automation games, like in survival crafting, FPS games use Q and E a lot, or just Q if it's even simpler. I would recommend making this Q. Don't have to. Just a recommendation for, you know, quality of life. Numbered hotbar would help. But that again, the numbered hotbar system, I did mention it, but I also realized that's dependent on how many things you're gonna have in your inventory and how many things in your inventory you'd be using regularly. Right now, it doesn't seem like there'd be a lot, so maybe a numbered hotbar 1 through 9 wouldn't be necessary. Berries, because I am starving apparently. Oh no, I've not been eating. I don't like you. Also, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna ask that. I can go hop on the other profile and... No, actually, I'm gonna ask. Developer, how do you use is it the logistics bot? Not the silo bots. I know how to use the silo bots. The logistics bots, I don't know how you use those, because I placed them next to a structure and they just sit there. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? I can tell you what you're not doing. Because you aren't doing it. It's doing nothing. Do something! Do something! There you go. Well, I keep hitting escape to get out of things. That's a satisfactory habit, I promise you. And that's the new system. No more routers. Now for my final summary. I think the best way to start the summary off would to give a comparison between this system and routers. From what I remember, routers were a bit more free, you know, it was easy to expand. This is admittedly not as quick since these require more resources than a router, but they allow you to use more of the area. I think that's a pretty good trade-off, and I would stand by the Transformers even more so if not for this constricting system of an 8x8 grid. I wouldn't mind hearing your explanation as to why you decided to give the wind turbines a 3x3 placement area, in contrast to just, you know, the single square placement, so that way you could just place a bunch. Maybe it is a control mechanic. Maybe it's a means of preventing players from overplacing it, so that way the game becomes too easy. That could be a thing. Maybe that's why you did that. I'm trying to get in the mind of the developer, trying to understand why some decisions were made. Not saying this was a dumb one. This was not a dumb decision. I like the idea of the Transformer and having to make the most out of the area that you were given. It's just that things can get a bit claustrophobic, and for some people that like organization, I mean, you can only organize so much, especially when you have to keep efficiency in mind. And so using the wind nodes are a necessity. Routers, you weren't limited to an area. You could say I have routers. Say this is a router. I could just go up here, whoop, just place place a bunch over here, place a bunch over here. You can really expand in any direction you want rather quickly. But also, now that I think about it, I also remember you need a good number of routers to expand in one area. So while routers, you have to craft a bunch and then place them. This is a bit more immediate, and not only that, you can use a good chunk of the area. I do like that. Plus, it's not like you have to just craft a bunch of routers. You have to have a lot of routers. And I think they're required for organic and for mineral, I believe. Transformers, 40 organic, 40 mineral. But you place them down, you get way more out of the Transformer than you would with, you know, say, 16 routers. I'm happy that routers are gone. It's just gonna take a bit to get used to the physical constrictions within the square area of the Transformer. It's not bad, and I like the challenge of having to utilize the space as best as I can. But I like this is weird. Like, it's scratching a strange itch that I never thought was there. Number one, I like a challenge, but the challenge of having to use the space that you're given as best as possible kind of adds to the fun of the game. Especially considering that there are additional structures that are going to come on later in the game, like the one that you need to craft the medical kit and I think the laser pointer. I'm forgetting the name of those structures. But there are more structures, and you're going to have to be careful about where you place them in this tiny area. I'm glad the routers are gone. It just is going to take some getting used to with minimalism not being forced, but kind of being demanded from the Transformer. Transformer asks you to use your space as best as possible, and that adds a challenge to the game. And any challenge in an automation game is what keeps the player engaged. If the more like, not saying you should have just a gauntlet of challenges, but you know what makes automation games fun is that you're kept busy. And if something is always occupying your time or occupying your mind, if there's something you always have to think about, that's gonna keep you engaged in the game. So having to manage my space, you know, it's something I have to think about. And simply thinking in games like this, simply planning, making calculations, it's what keeps these games fun. So I like the transformer system. I like the idea of it's not compartmentalization, but I like it in a sense that, okay, well, everything's all over here, and it's probably easier to see that on the map too. I think, again, the only downside would just be figuring out how to place things. And that weird placement in regards to the wind turbine. I don't know why the top spinner of the turbine takes up apparently a half a square that isn't shown. So that's a bit strange. The G and E thing I mentioned, I'm not gonna keep nitpicking on that. It's not even me nitpicking on it. It's really just a friendly suggestion because I see it in a lot of automation games, and this is an automation game. Numerical hotbar, that's just something I see in other games like this. So considering this game is gonna grow, I hope it grows. I enjoy this game, and I'm excited for the new features to come, and I'm going to be more active on Discord. If you haven't seen my name on Discord, I apologize. I also have a full-time job, so I'm not on Discord a lot. I'm either working or editing videos or recording, and the little spare time that I do have, I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2 Echoes because this season's been really fun. Developer, if you're watching, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope my feedback helps. I hope I haven't said anything offensive. That's not my goal at all. If something came off the wrong way, I apologize. I'm trying to give as warm advice as possible, just trying to be friendly because I understand you are working very hard to make this game even better than what it was, you know, yesterday or 2 days ago. And I know you're working on a new demo, and you're working very hard. So I want you to know I'm here to support you. And honestly, by you watching this video, you're supporting me, and I appreciate it. But I'm also here for you, because I like this game, and I want to see where this game goes. So thank you all for watching. Please look forward to more content coming at you very soon. The minute something new on Prospector comes up, you better believe your butt cheeks, I'm going to be on it. I want to say something other than white on rice, but, you know, I couldn't think of anything fast enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to more content very soon. I apologize I didn't get 3 videos out last week. Sony Vegas is getting on my nerves. I cannot tell you how many times it has broken on me in the middle of rendering. Literally not last night, but the night before, I was rendering the video that you're gonna see of Supermarket Simulator. At 97%, it broke. And it did that twice. And I didn't know why. I figured out why, but the reason why it broke is just so stupid. And it really helped me back. I could have had 3, but it wasted hours of my time. Because for me to sit there and wait for it to finish rendering, and then for it to break, is so disheartening. And I'm going to make up for it. You're getting 5 this week. So get ready for a Power Pack combo of videos, including FNAF Into the Pit, and much, much more. So thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Have a good day or night, wherever you guys are in the world. And I will see you next time. Take care, peeps.